Welcome everyone to Living with the Times. We are now in the period between Purim and Pesach. And I learned from Rabbi Yitzhak Ginsburg a beautiful allusion to the connection between Purim and Pesach. And it comes from a description in the Torah of the relationship between God and Moshe. And in it, it says that God spoke to Moshe peh el peh, meaning mouth to mouth. Now, of course, we don't take this literally. This is indicative of a very special relationship that God spoke to Moshe directly, mouth to mouth, whereas with the other prophets, God would speak to them through riddles, allegories, visions, and dreams. Only Moshe was this peh el peh, mouth to mouth. In a different place, it says that God spoke to Moshe panim el panim, face to face. It has the same kind of meaning. So Rav Ginsburg pointed out that the holiday of Purim begins with the letter Peh, and the holiday of Pesach begins with the letter Peh. So he said this is an allusion to the period between Purim and Pesach. And in the expression Peh el Peh, el means two, mouth to mouth. And the word to, el, equals 31. And Rav Ginsburg pointed out that Pesach is exactly 31 days after Purim. So this is a very, very beautiful allusion, but it's based on many, many connections between Purim and Pesach. So we will go through them very quickly, and we'll see why this hint in the Torah, Peh el Peh, could be applied to the period between Purim and Pesach. So first of all, we know that these two holidays come 1 month after each other, and the expression is that we're going from one type of geula to another type of geula, from one redemption to another redemption. At the time of Purim, there were great miracles, and we were redeemed from the evil plot of Haman to kill all the Jews. Same thing on Pesach, we were freed from bondage after many years through miracles and wonders. But the letter Peh means mouth, and the connection between Purim and Pesach also is through the mouth, because on Purim, one of the mitzvahs is to read the Megillah, to read the story, tell the story of what happened in Shushan Abirah, what happened with Mordechai and Esther and Haman, Achashverosh, and the whole story. Not only do we read it once, we read it twice. And on Pesach, the whole Haggadah means to tell. And it's actually one of the 613 mitzvot in the Torah is to tell the story of coming out of Egypt on the 15th of Nisan, on what we call Seder night. So both Purim and Pesach have to do with the mouth. That's where this allusion comes from. The idea of from one telling of the story to another telling of the story. Now, the other letter in the word Peh is a hey. Peh, hey, spells the word Peh, mouth. And the letter hey also has to do with communication and expression and language, because we're told that we enunciate letters from 5 different places in our mouth, and the letter hey equals 5. But not only that, the letter Hey is the letter of the month of Nisan, the month of Pesach. In Sefer Yetzirah, each of the 12 months comes into existence through 12 of the Hebrew letters. And the letter for the month of Nisan is the letter Hey. It's the letter of expression. In languages around the world, the expression Hey is to get your attention, is a letter of expression, of communication. And so here we see so many different connections between Purim and Pesach alluded to in this idea of Peh el Peh and also Panim el Panim. But let's go even a little bit farther. Purim, especially Shushan Purim, is a full moon. Seder night is also a full moon. So there's a very, very deep connection between these two redemptions that are happening on full moons. And in fact, there's another full moon that comes before it, is the full moon of the month of Shvat, Tu B'Shvat, when the sap begins to run in the tree. And that sap represents the beginning of a redemptive energy that then gets played out on Purim and its full expression at the time of Pesach. Another deep connection is, of course, on Purim we drink a lot of wine, and on Pesach we have 4 cups of wine. And again, they're going in the mouth. Peh el Peh. So there are all of these connections. Now, one of the deepest connections here is in Hebrew, the term for the oral tradition is Torah shel Baal Peh, which literally means the Torah of the master of the mouth, meaning that so much of our tradition was and still is handed down orally. And so the scroll of the Megillah got written down and the Haggadah got written down, but it came through an oral tradition. In fact, Purim is the first holiday enacted by the sages that is not written in the Torah. It was, in a sense, the epitome of the oral Torah, that they understood that they had the ability to create a new holiday. And of course, the text that we read on Seder night is the Haggadah, which developed over many, many, many years and is put together from different traditions into what we now call the Haggadah. So here we see many, many connections between Purim and Pesach, and all alluded to in the idea of mouth to mouth. So we should all be blessed, especially this year, to go from redemption to redemption. We most certainly need a full redemption now, and the entire world needs a redemption. May we experience it this year.